Hello YouTube vintage stereo collectors and restorers. Here we go. Another vintage top-loading cassette deck. Panasonic model RS-260us. 1973 model. And I actually did one of these earlier this year that came from another trade. This one is in nicer shape. In fact, I see very little wear on it of any kind. It just is in really nice shape. And even better yet, it came with the original manuals. Oh, I like stuff like this. So this tag, I think it hung right there. Can you imagine walking into a stereo shop in '73 and going, well, I'd like to use chrome tapes. I hear they're better. And those were real chrome tapes on those. Not cobalt. Anyway, I want to show you this package here. This is awfully cool. So, the operating instructions. And this is all before the digital world, you know. A schematic. A schematic is like a blueprint. It's actually a pretty simple deck. There's only what in it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10 transistors. But the other one that I had actually had excellent sound and very stable playback. So this is a Canadian deck, but it would be the same. It comes with service centers, your mail-in warranty card, and this really cool Panasonic product line brochure. And it's got some of my favorite Panasonics. It's got the Powell, which is an 8-track AM/FM stereo. The Bridgeton, a lot of these they had. Even the Clockwaves, look at that. The Vernon, the Ashburn. But some of the stuff I have owned many of these products over the years. The little close and play type of phonographs they had. And there is some stereo stuff in here. Look at this stuff. The RS-263, which is one model up from this. A Technics SL1100 AC. And I've owned one of those. And I'm telling you, it is an excellent, solid table. Open reel deck's a 4-channel deck. So it's 4 channels, one direction. Loudspeakers. And their TV set line. And it's really nice. Like, this came with it. I actually have had 3 or 4 of these books over the years. One came with my RF511 AM/FM portable radio. One came with my Take and Tape. This is back, you know, in my younger days. They have some of the... There they are. The Take and Tape. The red, yellow, blue, gray, and white one. Lots of kids had those, and teenagers too. So it's pretty cool. It came with that. This was in a cabinet like for 50 years. These extended extra long patch cords. And there actually says made in Japan on them. Interesting. Now, I took a quick look at this. I haven't played a tape on it. I popped it open. I'm looking at the heads and pinch roller here, and it's like it's a little dusty in there. I don't see any kind of grooving or anything on it. That's actually kind of amazing. The person that owned this, it was his father's, and it hadn't been played in years, so I'm going to risk a tape in it. Let's see. I have a Paul Anka recorded tape here. So I'm going to plug it in. This is what I like about this vintage of stuff. Headphone jack right on the unit. Anyway, I'm going to just turn it on. Power. Oh, wow. Wow. The backlights work. And this is what I do when I first check one out. I just put it in play, no cassette. See what's turning, what noises it's making. The neat thing about this one is a lot of the stuff is gear drive in it. It doesn't have a lot of idler wheels to slip, although it does have two belts, a main drive belt and then a belt for that. Oh, it's actually working. I'm telling you this, whatever these belts are, however old they are inside of this, I was told they've been here a long time. It has been sitting, like could be 30 years. I find this hard to fathom, but I'm going to put my headphones on. The one thing I find with Techniques decks, this is basically a Techniques before they were calling them Techniques, is that they usually work a long, long time. I've just got some hiss. Well, I have sound. That works. It's actually playing. The speed is a little off. Both are turning. Yeah, there's quite a bit of wow and flutter on that. I'm not going to play it any longer. I know what's going to happen. That belt is just going to go rip. But what you can do is, let's just pop the back off and see what is going on inside. So it has a masonite bottom, which is good. Very serviceable. Some of these top loaders are a bit hard to service. I've run into a few. Well, here's what we're looking at. You see how there's gears over here. This belt, well, yeah, this belt hasn't broken down or anything, but it's barely hanging on there. That's why, most likely why the speed is a little squirrely. Very clean inside. Wow. Yeah, that's kind of impressive. If I remember correctly, this board pivots off, and then you can actually, if you take the right screws out, you can pull the whole chassis out and get the counter belt. It's on the top. Yeah, so this is like the lube on the keys and stuff. It hasn't hardened. I'm going to have to look around for it, but I do have some bulk belts. Yeah, that is going to eventually just flop off there. So what I'm going to do is try to remember how to get this other end off. Screw there. Take the knobs off. Take this jack out. And then the whole thing sort of drops down. Well, what I'll do is I'll do another video when it's up and running, but because belt replacement's really no big deal. With this one here, you take those two screws off, lift this little bearing off, clean everything, put a new belt in it. The counter belt on the other side, I don't see any way of doing it this way, so I will take the case off of it, and I'll take a few pictures when I'm there. Interesting how this is labeled. Left mirror, left gain, right gain, left bias, right bias. There's not that much to do with it. It doesn't have Dolby, and you know what? Who cares anymore? I haven't recorded a tape. I still record tapes with Dolby on in years. I just record them with Dolby off, and they work quite well. Thanks for watching and listening.